Yeah, hello. In this Cloud Foundations, we are going through this module 4, that is cloud security. Okay, so I want to demonstrate this lab 1, Introduction to AWS IAM. So already I have started this lab. So let us go ahead with going through this lab content. So before I explore the lab, I want to just give the topics covered in this lab. This lab will demonstrate about exploring the pre-created IAM users and groups, inspecting IAM policies as applied to the pre-created groups, okay, following the real world scenario, adding users to the groups. So you will learn about how to add users into the groups with specified capabilities enabled, locating and using the IAM signed in URL, experimenting with the effects of policies on the service access. So these are the elements which we are discussing. So to start the lab, yes, I have already started the lab, and when I press AWS, I can go into the console. So the first task is basically to identify, yeah, you can see this one. The task 1, you need to identify what all things has been created, especially the in the IAM service, that is the security service. You can see that user 1, user 2, user 3 are created, and also user 1 should be in the permissions. You can see that in the groups also. User 1 is not a member of any group. Similarly, let us go through this elements. First, let me choose this IAM. So it should be there in the security. Yeah, security. Otherwise, if you know, you can even put directly in the search bar and also open this IAM. So this is the IAM service. So let me just explore the users. Basically, you see this one, it has already 4 users created and also 3 groups also created. There is one policy and also there are some roles also. So first let me explore this users. You have user 1, user 2, user 3 and AWS student. These are the 4 users which are there. And also if you see these groups, you have EC2 admin, EC2 support and S3 support group. Okay, so we have just explored all the things. You can see this and notice that user 1 does not have any permissions. Let me go through the users. Let me click this user 1. There are no permissions. Okay, you see this one, you need permissions. There is nothing which is explored here. So is this a member of any group? No, it's nothing. The permissions are nothing which is there for this particular user 1. Yeah. Choose the security credentials. User 1 is assigned to a console password. You can see this one, whether this is assigned to a console password or maybe like you can see your access keys. So yes, this has even you need to create an access key. It's not there. You can see this one. So here you see very clearly it has a console access sign in. So I copy this one for future uses. Maybe I'll open this notepad and I can see this particular one. Notepad will be helpful for me, right? So I have user 1, user 2, user 3, okay, and also AWS student as a users created, AWS student, right? So I just explored all the things. Also groups, also there are 3 groups which are there: EC2 admin support group and of course EC2 support and S3 support. We just explored already. So I write it here, all the 3 groups. Okay, so choose EC2 support group and choose this permission. So you can see this one, this has a permission called as Amazon EC2 read-only access. Let us go through. Go to groups. So the group which is needed is EC2 support group. So under this, there is already some permissions which has been attached. You see this one, Amazon EC2 read-only access is already attached to this. So now if you want, choose plus icon next to this EC2 read-only policy to view the policy details. If you want to see the details of the policy, you can just click this. Okay, so you see this, okay, which is masked. This is the policy in JSON. You see this allow EC2 describe. So this has the permissions, this particular one. So all you can see the CloudWatch metrics, and of you see allow auto scaling, etc., etc. Right. So again you can reduce, and then see support 3 group also. In support 3, I click this one. S3 support. Okay, this one S3 support. You see the policy. Yeah, there is no users attached, but you see there is one permission, Amazon S3 read-only access. If you want to see in detail, you can go through in this JSON. You see this, it has allow permission for S3 get, S3 list, lambda get, lambda list, etc. in JSON. Right. So I reduce this one. Okay. Similarly, we can go through this EC2 admin. EC2 admin. So I see this one in S3. I have this Amazon S3 read-only policy. I just write it here. What policy is attached? This policy is attached. So we'll also explore this one, EC2 admin. User groups, EC2 admin. You see this one, what permissions are attached. You have this EC2 admin policy. Make a note. This one. This is the policy which is attached. If you want to know in detail, you can expand this one in JSON. So this is the admin policy where describe, start, stop, all these things are given, allow also is given. But whereas the other policy, the first one which we have done, that is EC2 support, it doesn't have start and stop policy. You can see this one. See, this is the policy which we have attached. We expand, there is no start and stop. It has only describe, it has only describe. Most of the auto scaling describe. More or less describe means it's only just to get the information. So this is support. Right. So with this we have more or less understood about the user one. This is how it looks like, the solution. S3 support, this one. EC2 support, read-only access to EC2. User 3, we need to, I think this is our requirement again. User 1 needs to be a part of S3 support, user 2 needs to be part of EC2 support, and user 3 needs to be as part of EC2 admin. So let us go to task 2, adding user 1 to S3 support group. So here I need to have user 1 here. So how to add user 1? So go to this console, see this one. I go to console, go to group and add, choose this users. S3 support group, I have selected, see this one. Any users are there? No. Add user, select user -1 and say add users. That's all. You can see now user 1 is a part of your S3 support group. Okay. So similarly as per our requirement, you can see user 2 should be part of EC2 support. EC2 support. You can add users. There are no users. User 2 and say add users. So this is part of your EC2 support. So I think EC2 admin user 3 should be added. Yeah, user 3 EC2 admin should be added. Yeah, let us go through EC2 admin and add the users. User 3 and so add users. So user 3 successfully added to this particular group. Hence we have completed task 2. So let us sign in and test the users. So the URL is already we have copied. This is the URL. So what I do, I copy this particular one, this URL, and try to sign in with user 1 and user 2. So but now we also need to know about the password. So the password given is something like lab-password. This is 36 number point. So I just sign in. So please use this URL only to sign in as a individual account ID user. So I have here user hyphen 1. User hyphen 1 is mapped to, you see this one, S3 support only. See here, this is user 3. So let us investigate. So I think we need to open an incognito window and then try here, because we already signed in using the root user. Yeah. So the instructions also clearly mentions that. So you should sign in using incognito window. Yeah. And then you have to open that. Yeah, here let me say user hyphen 1 and lab hyphen PASSWRD. Let me check. This is 36 lab capital L lab hyphen capital P1 lab hyphen capital PASSWRD1. Yeah, I'm successfully logged in as an IAM user. Earlier we have logged in as root user. Now with, yeah, you can say next and done. Now let us check the profile. So the permissions which we have given for S3 support user 1 is only Amazon S3 read-only access. That's all. So let us check. So here if you go to S3, the services S3, you can see the buckets and also the data if it is there present. You see, yeah, it is there, sample bucket you can see, and if you have data also it will be. But if you try to create any bucket here, probably it will say no. It will say no. I'll try to create my bucket. So try to create a bucket with all the default values. It should say fail to create a bucket. So the policy says that you can only list the things. Simultaneously, if I go to EC2 compute, EC2, you see what happens when I say EC2 management console. Since there are no permissions, we are not supposed to get any access to the instances which are there. So you see this, any instances are there? No instances run. Okay, let me check the region. The region should be North Virginia, I think. Okay, let me change the region. So the details, the region should be there. Region is US East -1. This is North Virginia. So I will change the region and see whether any EC2 instances are running. Yeah, you are not authorized. You are not authorized to perform this operation. This is what which you had. This is what which you had in your North Virginia. Okay, so fully tested. All the other things you are seeing as API errors. The only reason is that you are not authorized to see all those things. So yes. So in the services EC2 instance, you are not authorized to perform. This is point number 40. Now I will sign in as user 2. User 2. Let me check. So this is user 1. I sign out. I sign out completely. Yeah, login back. Otherwise, you can paste the URL once again. Here, this is my URL. This is my account ID. Not here. In your incognito window, yeah. You should see your account ID displayed already. Now I'm signing in user hyphen 2. User hyphen 2. Password remains the same. lab L capital EASSWORD 1. Again P capital. Let me check the instructions. Lab hyphen password 2. Exactly. Yeah, I'm able to successfully sign in. So for this user 2, just imagine the profile which you have given is only for EC2 support. You will see EC2 read-only access. Only that permissions we can view that. So I go to EC2, I verify whether my permissions are safe or not. So ensure that your region is North Virginia. Now you can see there are a couple of instances running. Suppose if I try to select one of the instance and say try to stop the instance. To confirm, just say stop. It says fail to stop. So this is because we have given a read only permission. Just you can view describe the instances which are being run. Okay, so now let me go through this S3 also. So this is the permissions which we have given. So whatever profile we attach to the user or the group, so that part only can be accessed. Here it says that even though there is one bucket, it displays that there is no bucket, no buckets are there. So hence we can say that user 2 is also being properly, so now let us also see that user 3, we will sign in as user 3. This is point number which we can say sign out, okay, 53. So I will sign in as user 3. Okay, the password is lab password 3. So I just sign out. So we verified user 1, we verified user 2. Now let me verify with user 3. So otherwise take this URL, once again. Okay, so let me say user hyphen 3, sorry, lab hyphen EASSWORD 3. Yeah, I'm able to successfully log in. Just verify your EC2. So we have given full, you can verify here. So this is EC2 admin policy which allows stop and start the instances also. Okay, so this is user 3, go to EC2. So we will try to select one of the instance called the lab host. Okay, so and then try to stop the instance. Okay, so this is user 3, you can see here at the user 3, go to EC2. If the region is North Virginia, not North Virginia, please try to change to North Virginia. Okay, so please be sure. So you see this instances running, there are a couple of instances running. So I'll select this lab host and say instance status. I can say stop instance. It should run because the policy which is attached, yeah, successfully stopped. Policy which is attached is allowing now to configure, stop the lab instance. Later if you want, you can even start the instance also. Start and stop is given. So now let me also go through this S3 bucket. So S3 we have not given, none of the other permissions are given in this for user 3 other than EC2 admin support. See this, there are no buckets, it is displaying as no buckets. Go back to EC2. Yeah, in your instances, if you want, you can again select maybe close this one. You can again select this lab host. This is already instance stock. You can start. So it has triggered. That means to say that successfully started your instance. So hence, yes, we have completed our lab. Okay. So what we have learned, we have explored the pre-created IAM users and groups. The first case, inspected the IAM policies as applied to the pre-created groups. Yes, we have done that. Followed a real-world scenario, adding users to the group with specific capabilities enabled. Yes, located and figured out the IAM URL, sign-in URL, the same one. So the thing. With the account ID, experimented with the effects of policies of the services. Yes, we learned all these things. So once you have done all the things, you can say if you are okay, you have done, you can say end lab. Okay, so this will terminate all the resources which has been assigned to you. Okay, thank you everyone, and bye.